Is it working?
Two. Hold up. Sorry. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the big show. It's Band Practice, at the live podcast from Radio House Studios in New Orleans, Louisiana. We have with us tonight Allision, a great young rock group from right here in New Orleans. We've been listening to them in Soundcheck. It sounds great. I am your host, the Reverend DJ Thug Nasty, and next to me, as always, is the beautiful and talented Red. Red is the lead singer for New Orleans' hottest cover band, Sour Candy. I love those guys. She's also in a group called Burnin' Red. It's a duo. It's cool. You'll really like it. We got a few little tidbits about Burnin' Red coming up to you. I'm excited tonight. Allision is here. Soundman is here. He's out at the stick. Welcome back, Soundman, the living legend, the man. He is here again, and things are working smooth as glass, even though we blipped power 3 times in the last hour.
Was it 3 times or 4?
It might have been 4. I lost count. So we reset things more than once here tonight, but everything's up and running, and God willing, we're going to have a great show here tonight. I think we will. It's actually, the sun was out here outside a moment ago. So
Good.
we're here with Allision. Things are looking good. I'm feeling good. How about you, Red? You looking feeling good?
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling
Excellent.
absolutely fabulous. I'm glad to be here with Radio House Studios on New Rock Radio. And I actually wanted to mention the Burnin' Red has a show coming up. There's a 3-day weekend in August. It's August 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're doing Frets for Pets out in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at the Juke Joint.
Frets
It
for
is
Pets,
a charity
Ocean
organization.
Springs, Mississippi, Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Very cool. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's
You
actually
kinda
a
rattled
charity
through
event.
that. I was kind of trying to repeat.
My bad.
I won't talk
I feel
over
like
you
I go a
again.
little
Oh,
too
we
fast
did it again.
sometimes, but they run it for 3 days. It's a charity event, and there are tons of local metal bands coming in, and some of them actually come from out of town, right from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, right from Biloxi, Mississippi, and then you got people all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana, Florida. I think even last year, 7 Year Witch was there. I'm not sure where they were from. Somewhere like crazy, like Illinois or
I
something.
think Lafayette, Louisiana will be in the house. They got all
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
cool bands. It's a cool show. We love Frets. We love Pets. We love Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Thank you guys for what you're doing. And everybody out there, you can participate some kind of way. Even if you can't make the show, you can make a donation to Frets for Pets. Check those guys out if you will. We'll have more on that. It's happening in August. But nice shout out. Burnin' Red will be there. My favorite singer is in that band.
We will be there Sunday the 7th.
Sunday the 7th, Burnin' Red will be performing. So with that, we'd also like to say thank you to Petra. Petra Restaurant and Lounge, located on Airline Highway in LaPlace, Louisiana. They are our flagship sponsor. They will be catering tonight's event and every event here at Band Practice. We love TJ. We love Petra. Thank you so much, Petra. We also have some other sponsors we'd like to recognize. Fatty's Restaurant in Garyville on Museum Street. They are open 5 days a week with lunch specials, Thursday and Friday for dinner. They have live music on Friday nights. They've got a cool Facebook page. They'll keep you up to date on their specials. Fatty's Restaurant, Museum Street in Garyville. And then also Big Chiefs Heating and Air Conditioning. Big Chiefs, you need them, and you'll do yourself a favor getting your system serviced by these guys. It's $89 they charge you. They come up, clean it up, make sure everything's working right. I do it every year, and I'm grateful to myself and the Big Chiefs for doing that. And grateful to Big Chiefs for being a sponsor here for the Band Practice Podcast, newrockradio.us, and Radio House Studios. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Red?
I think, oh yeah, we had Modern Mimes in here last week, and they were amazing. One of my absolute favorite bands. They did pretty much all originals. They threw a little bit of Nine Inch Nails in there, and I was actually excited for that. We went out to a couple of their shows. I mean, they are just phenomenal, and we wanted to give them a shout out. We had a great time having you guys hang out. We had a great time watching you guys perform and having you here in the studio on the podcast. And if you haven't seen that podcast, you can go back on the page and check it out again.
Yeah, thank you, Modern Mimes, and have safe travels. They're on their way now to a gig in Rockford, Illinois. It's a music festival that's actually tomorrow, and they've got another music festival they're headlining up in Wisconsin. Both of those shows will also include the Almas, who we're gonna be having in here on Band Practice next month. This is the coolest thing ever, guys. So hang with us. We got cool things happening. The coolest among them being we've got Allision coming to you live and direct in Studio A at Radio House Studios. These guys are cool. You're going to totally dig this. we are going to bring them into the pane right now. I'm going to turn our 360-degree Studio A RoboCam, and into the pane we are going to bring Allision, New Orleans, Louisiana, brought to you by Radio House Studios and newrockradio.us. And they're coming into the pane right now, and here they are, guys. This is Allision, New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, indeed. The name of that tune is called Male Birth Control You. That is an original tune by this great group, Allision. We'll get to meet these guys shortly. We're going to let them get right back to the music. This next one up is a tune called Utterly Resistible. This is Allision from New Orleans, Louisiana, in Studio A at Radio House Studios.
This potion takes from me, won't sway away. This potion, you see, takes from me, won't sway away, won't sway away. There's a lot I can't afford out. I've been stealing from a counterfeiter. Secret sex and I can speak right now. Wanna listen to I'm better. I don't want to let me know happening so. Don't be dancing in the I don't want to reflect to my feelings. Women either got my composure.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Great tune, guys. That was called Simply Resistible. And I'm going to let the guys get right back into it. Let's hear another one, fellas.
Something strangle my hand. Love me harder than mine. Ready to control sex. Right through the door of the night. Can the problem shoot that woman right. Promise on a second chance to understand. Life never get you right, yeah. Excruciating. Time, summer, camel, who was working young. David Eve, we made like that song young. And then violin, rubber crayon toes. The man under your eyes, the cookie would young. But no hospitality. Need to know what to say. Time never waits with intent. In the shock and so unclear. We are thought to play. Time to summer down below. Doing worse than young. David Eve, we made that test of young.
Yes, indeed. That's a song called Hardly. And guys, I got to say, I'm really enjoying having you here. We had a lot of fun leading up to this. I think it sounds really good. We're getting comments going. We're having trouble getting the chat going here. It looks like Red's got it under control, though.
Yeah.
Man, this is sounding good and looking good, and the feedback is good. Let's let Red take it from here on comments. Or were you going to do that?
Oh, on the comments? Absolutely. So Kevin is with Modern Mimes right now, and they said, hey, y'all, we're in Arkansas, by the way.
Modern Mimes. Travel safe, guys.
Yes, and they said, we love you guys. Byron said, sounds great to me. And I think that was it. We've got volume is low on Steve and Red.
Okay, volume is low on Steve and Red. That means we're not in the microphone probably enough. Let's see if we can fix that here at the stick. Meanwhile, this is the band. They're Allision. They are from New Orleans, Louisiana. And up front, we've got Ryan. We're going to meet Ryan here first. Let me get into this mode on the lights. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so Ryan, man, let you rip right into this. How did this band get started? Who started it, and where did it take place?
Yeah, well, I'd say I got the thing going. You know, I was dealing with a period of emotional isolation in the COVID and stuff. I write books. I'm an author, so I wanted to be creative, and that was good for a while. But I was just in my office all the time, just writing things. And I also did a little bit of music, but I never really collaborated with other people. So I was thinking of what social vehicles would be good in that time, and I thought, rock band sounds like a good idea. So that was sort of the initial catalyst.
Great idea, man. Very cool. I'm liking it a whole lot. Red, what do you have?
I actually noticed that the first two songs have a very different feel than that last song, and I was kind of going to ask you guys about what is y'all's demographic, or what kind of music are you guys into? What kind of music do you guys play? Is it like all over the board, or you guys have a more specific genre? Because it feels like you don't. It feels like you guys have a more broad range going on, and that's not a negative thing. That's absolutely a positive. But
yeah, we're very conscious about that. Just I feel like rock over the last 30 years is a lot of different things we like to take from. The first two were pretty pop punky, and Hardly's a little darker, a little harder rock. So we like to bring in like different things. I think that's kind of one of the advantages of being a local rock band. There's a lot of disadvantages in that people are indifferent to you, but you also have like utter creative control. So what we like to do with that is write like a country rock song or things like that. Just really go around in all directions.
so you guys are definitely out here trying to reach all the people. Yeah. All the demographics. That's awesome.
Crossing over, and I can feel that. You guys cross over. Well, that's what I liked about this band, by the way. When I was introduced to them by your friends with Manuscript who have been here in the studio, he said, check out my friends over there. That's what I noticed. You guys you covered a lot of bases with what you're doing, and I think it's real cool. And stick around for the podcast because you're going to think the same thing. I'm sure you'll see kind of all the sides of this cool young group. So, did we have anything more for Ryan? We're going to talk to Eric.
I actually wanted to talk to Eric, but yeah, I definitely think that that's a really cool thing, and you guys are reaching a lot of different people because you guys definitely have a little bit of a different thing going on with each song, and I actually enjoy all of it so far. I actually did want to ask, so...
It sounds like she's counting on you guys to fall short coming up, is what that sounded like. Didn't
no,
that sound like that
I did not intend that
I
to
like
sound
it
negative at
so
all.
far. Man, you guys are great. I'm teasing.
I'm
with
waiting
Red.
for them
You
to like
tease.
really impress me. Like, I feel like it's it's
Oh,
already
it's coming.
impressive, but I feel like something like awesome is coming, and I'm kind of, I haven't seen it quite yet.
Because you don't know what's going to come next.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Right.
So, Ryan, how long have you're the only original member, so it was you that started this, right? Correct?
Yeah, well, Eric rolled along pretty close after, like 3
Yeah.
months in.
So 3 months in?
Yeah.
So Eric, what is it like? How did you meet Ryan, and how do you like playing music with him?
So we met and
Get right up in that mic, please,
Yeah.
Eric.
So we met in kind of the way that a lot of modern musicians meet on Craigslist.
Oh
and
gosh.
So after meeting and realizing he wasn't a sketchy guy, I decided to join in with them, and it's been good. We've been together for over a year now, and I've been able to write a few songs for the band, and it's Ryan is a really good co-writer for that aspect, so I've really enjoyed my time here.
Absolutely. And from my understanding, you actually have a more classical training. You have training. You've gone to school for music, and whereas Ryan, I don't think you have. So how does that kind of come together for both of you?
So you could definitely say classical. I did go the full Samandel method on the bass, and I since had to take a step back from that because that's definitely, it can be tough on your mind. But so after that, I decided to join in with the rock band with Ryan, and it's definitely been, there's times when we might disagree on some terminology, but we definitely get together and try to make things work, and sometimes we're still using different language a lot of
absolutely.
time, but as long as we're playing the music together, I'm pretty happy with it.
I completely understand where you're coming from with Ryan not knowing the terminology,
Yeah,
and then
self-taught musician.
some terminology I do know and some I don't, and sometimes I'm sitting here and you guys are speaking a completely different language, so I completely understand that. But it's amazing how your minds are able to kind of come together and work together on some music.
All right, so we're going to get back to some music right now. Eric, if you would press and hold that button and turn that guy off before you hand it to that there drummer. We'll get to meet the drummer here shortly. He's a cool fella. You all are going to like him a lot. And for those of you who just tuning in, this is Allision from New Orleans, Louisiana. Allision is spelled Allision. You can follow them on Facebook under that very name. And I am proud to have them here at Radio House and Studio A for the Band Practice Podcast. And thank you guys for being here. And with that, we'll put them right back into it. This next tune is called Sun Check. Nice job, guys. That was Sun Check. That's one word, S-U-N, check. Good job, guys. I like that tune very much. Is that how old is that one? Is that one of the first
It's pretty
ones?
recent, like 6 months old, perhaps.
Only about. Okay, nice. Okay, so brand spanking new, Sun Check. Okay, so here's another one coming up. This next one's a cover tune by a band I really like. I'm not going to name it. You're going to recognize it right away. Here they are, Allision from New Orleans, live and direct from Studio A at the Radio House.
Well, I heard you crying loud all the way across town. Well, don't get lonely now. Then try your one and I. Like this moment for the moment. I'm back on the mountain. So what time you've been thinking about checking me. No time to search the world around. 'Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. Well, I've heard it all before. So don't knock down my door. I'm a loser and a user, so we don't need no accuser to try and drag me down because I know you're right. So go do what you like. Make sure you do it right. You may find out that your cell down means something was ever there. You can't go posting something if it's just not right. No time to circle around. 'Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. When I come around. When I come around. When I come around.
Little Green Day. Good job, guys. When I come around. We got another song coming up in this set. This next one is an original. It's called Odyssey. And let it rip, guys. This is going great. I hope they like it out there in radio listener land. Thank you to all our listeners and all our viewers for sticking around with us. This is Allision live in Studio A. Band practice.
Evan, thanks so much for having us here. It is so dreamy in this space. The black, the red. I'm very happy to be here.
It's our pleasure to have you guys.
Roll it, Eric. I cleaned you up with chemical. If you're grateful, I'll never know. This always matter where's it come. What protects me as you go. Flashing back now, the best playtime. Things peter out as they're designed. My thoughts sharp time and speeds of light. Know when it will die. You're my favorite thing alive. But you now I'm starving high. You were my favorite thing alive. Just cherry soul. That clone of you was a mistake. Mine in advance is devastating. You must see me without the light. When I replace you with the light, I could go on and on again. On and on and on again. You went beyond and on again. Beyond and on again. You were my favorite thing alive. Without you now
That was a cool song, guys. That's probably my favorite one thus far. Odyssey is the name of it. And what's the history on that one? How old is that tune?
So that was originally. It's originally penned by Eric. He had that riff sitting around for a really long time, and he was just waiting for Rock Band to help develop it. So he brought in that bass line and that rhythm guitar, and I added a little bit of flamenco, Latin-y vibe to it. And lyrically, it's just mourning the loss of a pet who passed away. So kind of processing grief. Something we all
Wow.
been
Okay. All right. Well, I like it. I love the way it sounds. Cool tune. I see the influences. I see Eric's influence on it. I'm a bass guy, so that's cool. All right, so let's get back into it. That was Odyssey. Wait a minute. We have a little break coming up, don't we?
Yep.
This is break time right now, isn't it? It sure is. Steve, pay attention. So in break number 2, we're going to meet the other guys. We're going to head over here to the left. Do you have a microphone in hand over there, Jordan? Here he comes. We're going to meet Jordan over here on the lead guitar.
Hello.
Jordan, welcome to Studio A. It is good to have you here, my friend.
Oh, it's great to be here. This is a beautiful spot. I really like it.
Well, thank you very much. It's our pleasure to have you here. It is, I'm sorry. How long have you been with the band, by the way? You go ahead and tell us that story if you don't mind real quick. We'll get to the serious questions with Red here
I
shortly.
just joined about a month ago.
1 month ago, 30
Yeah.
whole days
Okay.
with the band.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that's cool.
Yeah, I was on Craigslist on Misconnections looking for this person I met in a Wendy's bathroom, but
Oh man, you guys meeting on Craigslist.
it turns out I made a more meaningful connection,
That's
clicking
nice.
a different link.
That's nice. Well done. Well done.
love
Well, okay, so we've been with the band for an entire month. That is cool. I like that. I like that Fender amp you have right there, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. It's a bass amp, but I think they were wrong.
Right? That sounds cool. It's got a cool sound to it. I don't know how it sounds out there in Radio Land, but in the room it's actually quite cool.
Yeah, I traded a football for it.
Traded a
Really?
football for
It was said it was signed by Drew Brees, but I signed it.
Signed it yourself.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
You're
Okay.
good with the banter, okay. And you have a sweet sound on your guitar. Can I ask,
Thank
do you do music full time?
Music's just a passion of mine, full time. I work at a little restaurant in the French Quarter. It's called Coop's Place.
Coop's Place in the French Quarter. I think that's down on Decatur Street, isn't it?
Yeah, 1109 Decatur Street.
1109 Decatur Street is where Jordan works the day gig. You work there days and nights?
Oh
Or?
yeah, I'm there all the time. I'm hanging off the rafters. They can't
Well-
get rid of me. It's
Goodness.
good. If you want some fried chicken and red beans and rice, we're the place to go.
Yes, it's regular Cajun
Yeah,
stuff, New
little
Orleans style
Cajun,
cooking.
Creole, gumbo, red beans, jambalaya.
It's a cool place. That's a cool section of town. People don't realize that you could park right there in that parking that's along the levee right there, the river levee.
Oh yeah.
And you're 2 blocks away from the coolest part of town right there on Decatur Street.
Oh yeah.
Lots of culture, not
Yeah.
just live culture as in mold. Regular good culture.
There's a lot of all of that.
There's all
I
of
see
it.
where you went with that one. Okay. Excellent. Well, that's Jordan, guys. Coop's Restaurant. You can find him during the day and at night. And when he's not doing that, he's rocking out with Allision. These fine guys that we're meeting here tonight. And we were actually going to come back over to you, Rob, back there on the drums, and get to visit with the engine that's behind this sound back
Yeah.
there on the
Hey
drums.
guys, my name's
You got-
Rob.
Hi. Welcome to the what is that? AA meeting? No.
Right,
No.
Rob. I've been sober
The
for
Musicians
45
Anonymous
I've
minutes.
been
meeting.
sober
Yeah,
for
no.
15 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Do you have any kind of formal training on drums, or how long you been doing it?
I always wanted to be a drummer. I kind of knew that from a young age, just because I
You're
don't know.
beating on pots and pans.
Music was like one of the few things that really made me happy growing up. I played a lot of sports, but that was just like it's just something that you did because you thought
It's-
that's what you're
yeah.
supposed to do. And
Second best.
I always had a drum set. It was sitting in my room for years. Didn't really touch it. I did take 2 lessons as a child. I don't even remember what we did because I was like, I don't want to learn a paradiddle. I would like to learn London Calling by the Clash, please. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
was like, I think we're jumping ahead. And I was like, nah, dude, that's like why I'm here. And we didn't really end up learning that song. And then, graduated college, 2014? And then I was like, I'm not really ready for the real world. I'm gonna buy a drum set, and bought another drum set. And 8 years, 9 years. How long has it been? A while later,
9
that's
years
what
if
I've
I'm
been
doing the math.
mostly for a while now. I have a day job too, but we don't want to talk about that.
Day jobs are boring, and the drums are cool, right? So that is
Yeah,
cool.
you got it.
You're doing a fine job back there, Robin. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
What
you,
I
you
was
too.
gonna, What I was going to ask is, you're from Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah, I am from Baton Rouge. Went to LSU, did all that, and
Go Tigers.
That's good times there.
Nice.
Not as big into sports these days, but I still would like to watch LSU if I get a chance.
Yeah, I love me some Baton Rouge. I love me some LSU. And how long have you been in NOLA?
New Orleans will be 4 years, probably like the end of the summer. I transferred here with the job that I had, and then was like, cool, yay, New Orleans music. 4 months of like having the time of my life, and then COVID hit, then I was like, oh, everything I wanted about New Orleans is gone now. But I stuck it out, and I'm really glad I did. I had other musical projects to keep my time, but toward near the end of all that is when I met these guys, and having like a local guys I can see once or twice a week, we can really hammer down songs if we need to. We met Jordan a month ago, and he's playing a 12-song set with us tonight. So the fact that we can like get together enough to do that, like and these are becoming my best friends over this. So
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
That
you
is
guys
cool.
didn't happen to meet on Craigslist too, did you?
I actually met through a mutual friend.
Okay.
So
I was just
Woo!
checking.
I got out of that one.
Was your mutual friend named Craig by any chance?
His name was Craig. No, there's a guy named Blake I've known for quite a while. He met Eric at a trivia night or something like that, and they're talking about music, and they're like looking for a drummer, and he's like, oh, I know a drummer. And I'm like, you want to be in a punk band, whatever? And I was like, again? Yes, please.
Yes,
like,
yes, please. Yes, sir. May I have another? Right?
So, yeah,
Yes,
that's
indeed.
where that all came from. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it's great to meet you, Rob. You guys are doing a fine job, and we're going to get you back to doing a fine job. Red, did you have any additional notes that you wanted to pop in there before we get back to some music?
I think that was it. I want to hear you guys rock out a little more.
We're ready to rock. Let's hear some more. Yes, indeed, guys. Good job. Red took my sheet. What was the name of that tune? Tell me. Well, you guys can tell me.
Yeah, this one's called Pirate Fiction.
Pirate Fiction. That's great. It's an instrumental number. It sounded cool, guys. It was very cool. I guess
that
it
is my
sounds as
favorite
good
thus
out there
far.
as it sounds in here. We'll have the sound man report to us. He's probably doing so in the chat. But anyhow, great. I love it, dude. That sounded great.
Thank you.
Give us another one, babe. Let's hear it.
true, I'm not. Taught you how to smile. Every little thing, fanning out ugly time. Judging from the guy, wholesale sell you buy. Toy your tongue and flat, mystery clue you got. We were so unruly, so awfully unruly, truly had to hoist us out. Broken fist so truly, but he know they absolutely judging from the guy. Wholesale sell you by all the way down. Avenue Senate fire. Stand for what you can. Pageantry to find. Honest illusion, choice not to decide. They might follow the mouth. We were so unruly, so awfully unruly, truly, time to hoist us out. Broken fist so truly, but he know they absolutely. Women for the mouth. We were so unruly, so awfully unruly, truly, had to hoist us out. Broken fist of truly, but he know they absolutely. Scooby, Scooby, Dooby, Scooby, 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 Dooby, Scooby, 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 Doo.
And there we go, guys. That was societal pressure disorder.
I have that.
That is cool too. Societal pressure disorder. Very cool sound. It does have that punk feel on that one. I noticed that real good. You guys are rocking. I love it. Do y'all need anything, by the way? We could bring in some beer or some waters or anything. You guys good there?
Yeah,
We
I'm
got a
very taken
backup.
care of this evening. I appreciate it.
All right, so we've got a societal pressure disorder, but we got no disorders here in Studio A. You guys,
Yeah.
great job. All right, so here's another one we're going to have in this set. This one's called Once a Goddess. This is Allision coming to you live and direct from New Orleans, Louisiana, here in Studio A at Radio House Studios, brought to you by newrockradio.us, New Orleans, Louisiana. That was Once a Goddess from Allision. Thank you guys for that one. I like that one too. I said I like that Odyssey a whole bunch, but this Once a Goddess one, I don't know. I like them both. And in fact, I'm liking all of it, guys. Thank you for this good music. Thank you guys for putting it together. More good music here from right here in the Big Easy. And we have another little quick break we're going to take. We're just going to talk here for another quick moment with Ryan. And we were going to ask you guys, where can we find you next? Where are you guys going to appear live?
So we don't have any gigs officially booked, but we're in correspondence with Saturn Bar, and we're pretty confident that we're going to do something in July with them. And the best way to find out about that is to follow us on Facebook and/or Instagram. We'd really appreciate it.
Allision, spelled Allision. Allision, New Orleans, Louisiana. Follow them on Facebook and on TikTok, and they're just getting started. They're a talented group of cool guys. We like hanging out with them, and good stuff is coming. We got some more tunes coming up, but first I think Red had something she wanted to ask.
You guys have any new songs coming out you wanted to maybe mention?
Yeah, we've kind of been releasing singles in twos lately, so we got 2 out over the last year, and next month the first 2 songs that we did tonight, Male Birth Control You and Utterly Resistible, are going to be coming out sometime in July, perhaps after the holiday madness is over, so that's to look forward to.
Hell yeah.
Nobody can hear him, by the way, so you'll have to repeat what he said.
Yeah, it'll be the Male Birth Control You single, which is the one I've been wanting to put out ever since I started this thing.
Male Birth Control You, coming out as a single later this year. Guys, I'm really enjoying this. We're going to let them get right back into it unless Red had something to add.
Nope, other than I love that title.
I love the title. You guys have some very cool song titles. In fact, one of them didn't make the set list here. I guess we were teasing Jordan about earlier, but we'll talk more about that, I guess, after the podcast. But anyhow, that was Once a Goddess. I really like that one. Let's hear this next one. It's titled Optimism.
Oh God,
Yes, indeed, guys. I love that one. I gotta say, man, I keep picking favorites, right? Optimism is my favorite so far. That is a cool tune. Is that a new one too, or is that one you've been on a while?
That was one of the first. Actually, it's actually the first song that Eric brought in with that bass line, and it's what we're talking about. It's sort of the country one of the bunch.
I keep calling out the tunes that are Eric's. I'm sorry, but I don't mean no offense, Ryan. Maybe it's the bass player thing going on over here. I'm not sure. That must be it. Anyhow, I like that one. That one's called Optimism. It is available to you, by the way, out there on Bandcamp.com. And do you guys have some stuff that's on disc that they can get from your website or some kind of way?
Nothing yet, but it's coming.
It's
like,
coming.
Like
it's
all
on its way.
local bands say, big things are coming.
Right. It's become a cliche here in the NOLA. All right, so anyhow, that one's called Optimism. Great tune. This next tune is called Forget Exhaling. This is Allision from New Orleans, Louisiana, coming to you live and direct from Radio House Studios, New Orleans, Louisiana, brought to you by newrockradio.us.
Settling in Haven. Use you as a plot device. Stop the wagon and chain rides another time. Exaggerates my punishment. Or pay for it at your expense. Commit now, never to be right. Now that I tell you alive. Free from pain. Free from pain, freedom from my desire to be free. Free from pain, free from pain, freedom from my desire to be. Silently held together with temporary intelligence. Love language of distance. Once a silence in, now a mannequin. Going out and not knowing when. Ignorance burns atmosphere. Free from pain, free from pain. Freedom from my desire to be free. Free from pain, free from pain. Freedom from my desire to be free from pain, free from pain. Freedom from my desire to be free. Freedom from liberation. Freedom from my desire to be. This belief I never planted with. That exhaling when the embers grow. My heels, my wrists, my body, I wanna reach. If you're so comforting, I love the show. This belief I never planted with me. Forget exhaling when the embers grow. My heels, my wrists, my body, I wanna reach. If you're so comforting, I love the show. So long. Free from pain, free from pain, freedom from my desire to be free, freedom from liberation, freedom from my desire to be free from pain, free from pain, freedom from my desire to be free, freedom from liberation, freedom from my desire to be.
Yes, indeed. There it is. This is Allision from New Orleans, Louisiana. That was Forget Exhaling. That was a great tune, too, guys. I like them. I'm liking this a lot. We've been talking to some folks here on the chat, I guess, and we wanted to give some shouts out. We're getting some feedback from the guys. Some of them are going to be involved in the Frets for Pets in
Yeah.
Ocean Springs, Mississippi, at the Juke Joint. And did you want to add any of that information before we get to this last song? We've got one more coming at you from Allision. You're going to love it. But
Would you rather me do that now rather than after they do one more song?
she's always correcting me, and she's always correct. So we ought to do that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to get one more out of these guys. I'm really enjoying having you here. I hope you've enjoyed your stay here at the Radio House.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. It's been so much fun being here, man. Thank you so much for having us on. Like I said earlier, you know, when it comes to local rock bands, the alt scene, there's like mountains of indifference. So we appreciate you giving us a chance and letting us play our little ditties here.
Well, we're liking them very much. We like your style of music. We feature that style of music on the radio station in a variety of styles. That's kind of what we do around here, right, Red? We kind of spread it thin, if you know what I mean. And we like it all. I like what we've heard here. I like what we've got coming out of you guys and what I know is the future holds for you guys. So it's been a pleasure to host you. And it's going to get better from this because our flagship banner sponsor, Petra Restaurant in Laplace, is heading out here with some great grub that's coming in. In fact, I think I just saw the door alarm, so they're probably pulling up with it
I
now.
could smell it already.
Oh,
They're
man,
amazing. You guys are going to love it. I love it. Petra's.
I love Petra. I love Petra Restaurant in Laplace. Petra Restaurant and Bar, thank you for being a proud sponsor of NewRockRadio.us and the Band Practice Podcast here at Radio House Studios in New Orleans. So we've got one more coming up in case you're just tuning in. This is Allision from New Orleans, Louisiana. And here they go one more time. Hit us, guys.
Someday the diamonds
that was Walls, a cover tune from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Guys, that is going to be the entire set that we're going to get to enjoy from these guys from New Orleans. This is Allision. They've got a gig coming up in July at Saturn Club. The best way to keep in tune with that and when the date is going to be announced will be to follow this group like I do on Facebook. It's Allision. And it's been a real pleasure having you guys here tonight. We're going to call it a night with that. Before we leave you, though, we'd like to say thanks again to our sponsors, Petra Restaurant in LaPlace, Fatty's Restaurant and Bar in Garyville, and Big Cheese Heating and Air Supply. I keep doing that. It's like the third time I've done that. Big Cheese Heating and Air Conditioning in Gramercy, Louisiana. They've got a hotline for newrockradio.us. I hope we're rolling on a scroll line because I don't have it here in front of me. But anyhow, thank you, Big Chief, for being a proud sponsor here. I'd like to say thank you to the living legend himself, Sound Man at the stick out there in the control room. It is great. It is great to have you back, and as if we hadn't seen enough from Sound Man, right? We lose power 4 separate times leading up to the show, just to prove that he's the best ever. And you guys saw it yourselves. So when I say it, I can say, talk to the guys from Allision. They'll vouch. So anyhow, thank you, Sound Man, and thank you, Red. And
thank you for having me. I love getting to co-host with you, Steve.
And we love having you here.
And real quick before we go, I did want to give one more shout out to Frets for Pets. It's a charity event, a charity festival that they do for 3 days straight every year. It is August. I mistook that on accident. It's actually August 4th, 5th, and 6th. So that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, you can look forward to people like Party at the Moon Tower, She Might Be a Beast, Saint Social. Saturday, just to name a few each day. There's, tons and tons of bands that are going to play, and it's lots of rock music, lots of alternative rock.
She Might Be a Beast is a New Orleans group. They've been here in Studio A. In fact, they were the second group we had here for the podcast. We'll have those guys back soon. They're doing cool new stuff. They played with Doyle at Southport Hall just the other night. If y'all following them, how cool is that? And they're heading over to Houston for a cool gig coming up. I forget who's with them, but it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, I've heard them, and they are amazing. And actually, tons of people were super excited that they were going to be there. And that's on Friday, August the 4th. On Saturday, August the 5th, Tristan Elise will be there. That's a good friend of mine. He's a very talented artist. He does a solo act. Falls from Grace will be there, just to name a few. And then Sunday, we have Shredley, who is also with Awoken Infinium, who I've also worked with. He is amazing, super talented guy. Burnin' Red, who I sing with. That's Tony Byrne and I. Rhiannon Red. And then Love the Hate will be there. They're going to be last. They are also highly popular, and we plan on having them on the podcast. And then 3HG will be indoors doing the open jam from, I think, about 10 p.m. until 2:30, 3 a.m. So it's going to be a good time all around.
Those are a bunch of cool groups, and that Sunday is stacked. I would recommend, of course, you go to all of them, but that Sunday, I wouldn't miss that, even if I had the flu.
Not for the world.
Right, and we've got Love the Hate is in there in RHG. Love the Hate, I actually saw them twice this weekend. We went to the Cannery Bar, and we saw them with Modern Mimes, and then the next night, you had a thing going on, and I went out to the Hitch in Ponchatoula and caught them with them guys, friends of the studio, been on the podcast, and Drab, friends of the studio, been on the podcast, and they damn near blew the roof off the place. It was awesome. It was really, really good. So anyhow, but the band in question, the band under the spotlight is Allision from New Orleans, Louisiana. It's been a great pleasure to have you guys here. We got some deli that's just been delivered by the best dining experience in the entire area, and we're going to prove that to you here momentarily. If you guys have any parting comments for us?
Yeah, again, thanks so much for having us on. If y'all liked what you heard on the live stream or subsequent rebroadcast for anybody who couldn't listen, follow us on the Instagrams and Facebook. We hope to see you guys at some New Orleans shows. The local art scene is very important, and yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Ryan, and he's exactly right. That New Orleans music scene, the New Orleans art scene is happening right now. By the way, quickly on the books, you've got some published titles already.
Oh, yeah.
Psychological thriller. Nobody can hear you unless you're in the mic. We'll show it, but I'll read that for you. It's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, psychological thriller, writer-seeker killer. It's set in New Orleans. Drugs and guns. Drugs and guns.
And
Can
it's,
you stick it right up here in the camera?
let's get in the camera again.
Yeah. Up a little.
There we go. Writer,
Seeker, Killer.
written by Ryan of Allision, New Orleans, Louisiana. It takes place in New Orleans. It is a thriller, and we brought us a copy. I'm gonna dig on it.
Are
I
you
think
gonna
it's
sign those
I'm
for
excited
us?
about
Hell
it.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yes, indeed, signed copies, baby. So anyhow, that's gonna be it for us, for me, for Red, for Allision, for the legend sound man out there at the stick. We would like to say good night and thank you very much. We're back here in 2 weeks with Concrete Confetti on June the 21st. We'll see you then.
You guys feel free to be as goofy as you want now.